And that statement?
Come on, man. Who is a statement against your own wife?
And that statement is giving the side chick said, you better protect me. How are you protecting your side hand over your wife?
How do you use a statement inside the house? We live in the same crib. Now, how do you use a statement with me in the house? Saying
Wi-Fi.
my lawyers will be in touch with you in the same house.
What up, what up? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. My name is Ms. Cosmo, as I am every single week. What it is, hanging out with my homie Moochie for one, baby. What's good?
What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Back again with the POPcast.
Yes.
After last week, we gave you a dope episode of our Pop Radio.
Yes.
I'm a glad dope boy. If you ain't seen it, go watch that. It's hot and it's definitely out and he's doing big things out there. But yeah, of course, this week we're back with another episode of the Pop Easy.
Yeah. And today we're hanging out with a hot guest, DJ Spontaneous. What's
up, Miss Cosmo? What up, Moochie? How you guys doing? What up, the people at home?
Right,
Spontaneous, is the only DJ, is the hardest working DJ in the country, first of all. He's the only man who has no problem playing a set and then coming back and playing another set. My man can drop 3 sets at the same party, no problem.
I remember when he did at the first holiday club, I was like, my brother, you overtime, Pelale. This one. And the songs just keep coming and coming and coming. So, Spontaneous is your guy. If you want to make sure the party keeps on rocking. Huh?
Yes, ma'am. You know it is not. It's for the love of the game. For most part of it. But yeah.
Shout outs, man.
Thanks for having me here today on the POPcast.
Sir, we're trying to get you into trouble.
Oh, really? Okay, let's see.
I think you've been well behaved for the most part.
For the most part.
Well behaved. Sometimes I bump into people like, what did you say last week on POPcast?
Yeah, you see, and then others, we all catch strays because of what Sipo says on the show. But we're going to try our best to keep it as level-headed as we possibly can. Just to kick off the show, we do want to send our condolences to the Shongwe family. Paul Shongwe passed away this past week. I think very sad, very sudden. I think a lot of people were just kind of more in shock about the news of her passing. Very bubbly woman, very courageous. She was always outspoken. And it's very sad to kind of hear news like this, especially for somebody so young. So condolences
to the family and of course the entire team at Metro.
Yes.
Especially it was on Touch's drive show.
Yeah.
Right? She read the news. But yeah, very, very sad, very saddened as well. And yeah, man, I hope there's closure for the family because of course I'm guessing there's questions for friends and family trying to find out exactly what may have happened. But yeah, we do send our heartfelt condolences to her and everybody that loved her, of course.
Yes, indeed. All right, so to get into more trickier news. I think everybody on social media has definitely been following what's been happening with regards to how we've been kept afloat on other people's ndabas more than our own ndabas. Why is fucking ndabas? Some things must just stay in the household. Sipo, I've got a very pertinent question for you. Do you know how to bake a cheesecake?
The thing is, I do. And I baked the cheesesteak in front of the whole country on Come Dine With Me.
And then he still said, Nabalas.
And I was the best dessert. So you can ask anybody who was on the show, my cheesecake banged. So when I saw cheesecake catching strays, I said, you see now, this is terrible branding for a very, very delicious dessert. Now every time I bake a cheesecake at home, it's like,
is it really yours? Is it really yours or is it for me? Or maybe I'm not going to get a slice. So as we've seen in social media this past week, the Booths have been shaking up their marriage over and above social media. Sonia Booth has just been outing her husband and his indiscretions, his infidelity, and his baking capabilities. So this thing is tricky for me now because on one hand, as a woman, sometimes you sit back and you're just like, actually, screw this guy. Because 9 times out of 10 in relationships, when you ask somebody about something, you guys have this thing of deny. So she just said, you know what? To avoid the drama, let me get myself a private investigator. I love her work, by the way. Got a private investigator and decided I'm going to post everything on socials. But everybody's got their ups and downs and their thoughts about it. And the guys are all like, but why are you putting everything on the socials? The kids must suffer. Spontaneous, how are you feeling about the way that she went about things?
Look, I mean, relationships, I always believe, are supposed to be between you and your partner. But at the same time, I mean, we live in a world where dynamics have changed. People are getting hurt left, right, and center, and they just don't know how to deal with anything anymore, you know? Because, I mean, like you said, if you approach your man, you'll be like, yo, you cheating, deny, you know? So I guess she was just fed up and she just decided, you know, it's over. But like you said, now, but what about the kids? How are they gonna feel? Because now they get to school and now cheesecake is trending, tapo is trending. It's like, you know, next thing your kids are having a birthday parties, they're gonna get cheesecakes and Tupperwares for presents. I mean, it's gonna be tricky now. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak on her behalf, but I would have personally liked to keep it private between the two of them, maybe deal with it as adults, but we never know what she's going through at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, if I think anybody who can relate about getting cheated on, you know, that thing makes you dizzy a little bit. Kind of shit, like, nah, you don't want to think straight. And the last thing you want to do is cop a plea for the person who just cheated on you. You don't care about their feelings, whether they're embarrassed or whatever it is, even embarrassing yourself in that situation, you don't really care much about it because you're hurt, you know what I mean? And you can imagine us who've been cheated on smaller relationships, now at 20 plus years of a marriage, had children in there, and building a life together, you don't know how deep it can get. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of how she reacted, I guess we can't police her reaction. We can speak and say, ish. It's unfair for the kids, perhaps, in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she can be like, well, I didn't cheat on anybody. In the long run, I'll still be chilling. But for the kids, you're right. With the teenagers, high school, you can only imagine the jokes flying. So it's tricky. But it seems that I'd like to think, because I think she posted some other video where she was, her kids had sent her like a birthday message or whatever. I think you can, in that message, I think she's trying to let people know, don't worry about me and my kids. You know, we are fine. You know what I'm guessing maybe she probably told them before she came to social media. I doubt they found out there. So yeah, in terms of like how people react when they get cheated on, it's another story. But Ubuz Nai, I mean, come on, man.
And that statement?
Come on, man. Who is a statement against your own wife?
And that statement is giving the side chick said, you better protect me. How are you protecting your side hand over your wife?
How do you release a statement inside the house? You probably we live in the same crib now. How do you release a statement with me in the house saying my lawyers will be in touch with you in the same house? So it's weird. I'm guessing this marriage is maybe it's been over for a while. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was one of those like, maybe she was gathering evidence for the lawyers for the divorce that she's clearly about to file. It wouldn't make any sense if she. You know, more stranger things have happened in relationship in terms of love back. We've seen these things happen again, and then people go back and they tell you, shh. Don't ask me too many questions. It's the love of my life. We're back together. And they fix things privately. Fix them in public also. Because you're already involved now. And we love delicious gossip. So give us everything. When you start fixing the marriage, do it publicly. Now, I want to see it on Instagram. I want to see statements saying we're fixing things today. I want to see everything. And we can demand it. I'll give you let us in a little bit. This is the time to say, and now my wife and I will be sorting out. We need the public to give us a chance to. Chance for what?
You open the door already. We're inside. You're sitting on your couch watching you like this, like, okay, thanks.
You're at home watching Generations, writing statements to your wife next to you on the couch. I categorically deny these allegations. I found it. Anyway, my boy. First of all, I don't care about anything what happened there. Cheesecake, Tupperware is enough. That's enough. That's already grounds for our yen.
Exactly. Why is my Tupperware at another woman's house?
How dare you cook a cheesecake in my house and I don't know if you get the taste. Where's the cheese? Wake up in the morning.
Not cheesecake.
It's the kid's birthday.
And you know what the problem is about baking? You can smell it throughout the whole house. You can smell the thing when it's brewing. So my thing is, now I'm waking up, I'm thinking, oh, I know it's going to be in the morning. Dololo. I know that one was very tricky. So I don't know. I think they must just, we actually can't even tell them how they need to manage their relationship. But I'm sure they're going to tell us because clearly Sonia, she's just making sure we all get an update on the latest situation in their relationship.
He wasn't even that good at football to be doing nonsense. You're an okay footballer, my guy. These are things, somebody calling him a legend. Legend. Just because you used to play football and then you retire doesn't mean you automatically become a legend. You're just a guy who used to play football. Finish. Let's be very, very careful about how we categorize this.
See, now it's getting sour now. Now it's going even further than just the cheesecake.
No, I don't want to say, there's a lot of footballers we can sit here and talk about and be like, guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Lucas Radebe. That's a legend. You know, McFish. These are people.
Those are legends.
Those are legends.
But then what are you saying? You're separating the man from the problems.
I'm saying that guy, he must be known as Matthew Booth, the husband of Sonia Booth. They mustn't say anything about him playing football. We don't recognize you there on the pitch, my brother. Don't mention the fact that he used to play football. It's just like a guy who used to have a job. Don't mention where he used to work when you're talking about my shit.
It must stay in your CV. That's
hey, just leave it alone.
Tough.
You don't need to drop football into his...
tricky.
No one can remember anything.
And somebody else who's also frustrated, obviously, is even the husband was also just like Nayo Katele.
Klaus.
Yeah, so Klaus is tired of
that guy looked like he said 10 years I've been asking her to stop.
But you could also see, I think there was a picture that was also shown where when they first got together, and then 10 years later, Ngati stress imkukisile because now he got old like this. In the 10 years of complaining.
Stress will age you.
Aye. It's tricky, Yana, but I don't know. I guess we'll all find out in the next episode of The Booth. Oh no. But more drama on social media as well. Saint Lounge, I don't know which one this one is. And this one's tricky also because, you know, as a DJ, we deal with these clubs all the time. So obviously, we're seeing how certain things are unfolding. And of course, it kind of started off with Mihlali calling them out to be like, my brothers
paid me.
And they were like, actually, we're gonna take a leaf out of your book. Let's go. We are going to do the same thing. Now, I get the exposing of people because, look, it's a business. They need to get their money back. I get that. But now it's tricky because I think from a relationship perspective, like the first guy that they posted, that guy who owed about 10K, he's just like, but guys, I've spent over like 400, 500K at your establishment. Now you're going to fetch me for one bill that I haven't paid. From a relationship perspective, it's kind of tricky. Like, how do you manage something like that? Because again, I'm all for exposing because people need to pay their bills.
Yes, sir.
You know, 100%. My thing is, it's in the how and the way and the how we're going to manage this thing going forward. Because now that guy is going to blacklist them from people going to that venue going forward. All of the big baller friends.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, it's very tricky. But when I saw the whole Saints thing, I was like, this thing didn't just pop up from the blue. I feel like it's been brewing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the list is a lot longer than what they exposed.
Definitely.
So I feel like someone was just fed up and was just like, guys, there's no ways, we need our money. And unfortunately, like you're saying, like one guy got called out and he had a 10K bill, but he's been spending like half a meter at the place. So it does ruin relationships in the long run because now people are definitely not going to go to Saints anytime soon. Like, go to Saints, one mistake, you are now being posted. We didn't win about that.
One mistake, how? Why are you getting, why are you leaving without paying? One mistake, spontaneous.
But these things, I mean, I'm sure we've been seeing them.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's
why
not
is it allowed?
We don't know.
Here's the thing with clubs, right? And they must also own it. What I was saying, what they're doing, first of all, their reaction to this right off the bat of like a small public embarrassment with Mihlali. It's almost like, you know, when somebody gets smacked, but then they don't smack the person who smacked them. They ask people who are laughing, what are you laughing at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like because you're scared of the person who just smacked you.
Yeah.
So you're asking the kid behind you, what the fuck are you laughing at? And you start smacking them as well. But it's like, no, go talk to the person that smacked you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that whole Mihlali thing that was a turnaround. Instead of saving face by saying we paid Mihlali, Hade, whatever, we're actually going to go a step further and say, actually, people who owe us money. So niggas at home catching strays for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And because you see how long the list is, you can see that, okay, it's a practice. And we know it is. Even here in Joburg, this shit pops up the same way. And the way it happens, especially scammers, this is how scammers spend money at the club. You know what I'm saying? Because scammers scam and then they have big bulk of money from the big scam that they did. And then they go to the club with that money. And they spend 100,000, 200,000. And sometimes, so the club sees these guys spend that money, pay cash. So when the guy comes back next week, he's like, don't worry about it. You know when I got it, I paid. So they let these guys have long terms because they know every 3 months a scam is going to come along and then he's going to come with a big bag of money, leave it at the club. So now, I don't know what made them fed up this time to go after these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Especially that nigga owe 1.4. The guy was at home going, nah, come on, man. I told you my bank card is...
That guy's got so many
I reached my
tattoos.
limit.
I'm sure,
You know what I mean?
I'm sure his tattoos even cost more than that 1.4.
That's what I'm saying.
Killmonger, he didn't deserve that.
His card just declined. He's like, he reached his limits. He couldn't change the limits or something.
He probably told the Oak, you know the guy says like, Tibos,
suppose.
I'll be back. Wednesday I'll be back. I'm gonna come, it's payday. Just leave me.
but it's
They said the 1.4, where is it?
But that, you see, that's the thing now. There's scammers, and then there's the 9-to-5 guys, and then there's the guys who just shouldn't be getting credit in the first place.
Yeah.
Why are these things why are they allowed to happen? Why are they getting away with them? And also, if you're gonna have the bulk payments like you're mentioning, I get that because it is a reality. But you can't give credit to a scammer. He scams for a living. He's gonna scam you.
Of course. But they love the bulk money when it comes. So I don't think they live for things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because these guys are overspending. Of course, I mean, spend 100,000 rent on the club is ridiculous.
It is.
But a guy who comes, drops money on the club themselves, they don't mind. Because they're used to people running money through their clubs. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't understand what made them tick with these guys. Maybe these are like a year-long bills.
Yeah, that's
where they're like, okay, now it's been too long.
Yeah.
Usually you pay it in 3 months, but now you've been quiet for... Even the guys' reaction to they're like, what's going on with these things? Like, none of them are worried. They're like, relax.
Even the one guy posted on a bulk, he's like, please change the picture, use this one.
You guys are begging me with old pictures. I've updated my...
At least use a new picture.
So that whole situation for me is weird. And also, I'm very worried about the guy 1.4. Because when you think about how expensive clubs are, 1.4 is like the beginning of the night. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually just one bottle.
If you're sitting there, sometimes not even one bottle. It could be it's like maybe it's a bottle of tequila. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a Jägermeister plus mixer. This guy was just beginning to produce his order. He was immediately in trouble.
Just walked in.
You know what I'm saying? So it got very petty and weird for me when they were doing that. And also at the same time, they came out with receipts to address the Mikali thing, right? Same way she
I didn't like that.
My thing about that is this, right? And I think we must keep the same energy. I think it's only fair for if somebody owes you money, on Kali's back, and we're like, you guys as DJs in the industry as well, sometimes you gotta chase these payments. People will be like, hey, my man, it's been 2 weeks now. Where's that cash?
Where's the money?
So Mikali waited what you think was quite a few months, still didn't get her money. But they replied by saying, we actually paid you immediately, and we paid your company. Your agency, and here are the receipts. We paid them in August when we booked you. A week after, by the time you had, it was a week after the event, we had paid everything. So it was your agents that needed to pay you the cash. My thing about that is that if you're going to expose people and when you're wrong, I think you must also come back and
apologize.
And say, you know what? I'm sorry, Saint. Actually, it was Miss Cosmo. You paid Miss Cosmo. She didn't give me my money.
Give me my money.
I think leaving it quiet is also a bit. Because then don't come back next week again and say, let me add on and say somebody else owes me cash. Because if you're in the wrong, because you're thanking them in real time. If you're in the wrong and you're like, oh, okay, actually I was dragging the wrong people completely. They didn't deserve to get that backlash because they have to continue booking people, right?
Yeah, of course.
So everyone else who's going there is going to be like, hey, I think I want my payment up front. I don't want that Mikali situation.
You guys don't pay.
But that's also the tricky thing now. And that's why I was just like, I'm on the fence about how they posted it. I get what you mean, but no, we actually have the receipts. This is the payments that we had done, whatever, sharp. They could have at least blurred out the money. They've created more problems for themselves now. Because when people go to Saint, now they're going to say, firstly, I want my money up front. Because everybody knows clubs pay after. They don't pay before. So now everyone's going to demand for money up front. And also all these hostesses now are going to be like, oh, but you paid me. Did you see that? Don't tell me about budget because you can gladly throw it out 50K for Mihlali. So I want the same bag. Now they've created expectations that I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain if they're busy chasing about 1.4 from people who have tattoos, but they can't pay their bills.
But they can't pay their bills.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the whole thing, you could say it's tacky at the end of the day. It doesn't really help anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're right, maybe they get themselves into more trouble now. People go there and be like, you guys know how to pay 50% up front.
Like I think when Cosmo first said, there are ways to deal with these situations. I mean, us as DJs, we do know that sometimes we have to chase our money. And I mean, I don't think you'll find any DJ going on the net and be like, yo, Sumo owes me, yo, Taboo owes me, yo, Saints owes me type of vibe. We know, okay, no, talk to this person will tell you, there's always a way to do it. So now this whole thing has just opened like a can of worms in the whole industry as a whole. Because now, who's next? We're all chilling thinking, it's done. Something's also
and you're right, we're all waiting for who's next now.
We're all waiting to see who's
And the drama is addictive. That's the thing about drama. It's addictive. So even people watching it on both ways, it's addictive for people who are like, maybe I must also drag someone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of waiting for my cash.
Yeah.
Venues are also like, actually, maybe I must tell people that people actually owes us some cash. Because they're not to have papanyana these days. Must say, hey, Baba, don't forget you have a bill that you, you know, there was a guy who once went online to complain about DSTV, right? On Twitter. He came in and he's like, yo, DSTV, my shit is disconnected. It's been like 2 days. I don't know what the hell is going on. He kept attacking DSTV, yo. And then DSTV, it happened about, I want to say really about 5 to 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where social media, I guess, tact wasn't in place for a lot of brands. Live jive on the TL, they told this guy, my man, your thing is off because you didn't pay. As you can see, you're owing 300 and something. If you still pay, we'll reconnect. Quiet. But I'm saying, you understand what it is? It's one of those things where you poke, and eventually people are like, yo, man, your problem is on your side. And as soon as someone says that, then you keep quiet. You're like, oh, I didn't even check. There was a connection fee or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a vicious cycle of, you said something earlier about this is the times that we live in when you're talking about Sonia. And we're living in the times of social media. Everyone is on edge. It's just, the first thing you want to go to is like, either must tweet about it, post about it on Instagram, tag somebody, we share gossip in real time. You know what I'm saying? Things goes from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. And then even you later, you're like, maybe I should have relaxed a little bit. Maybe I did too much.
Maybe I should have present. Maybe I shouldn't have posted.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, shout outs to them for being brave. I think I can at least give them the bravery card to say, I know you guys definitely opened a can of worms. We're going to see where this thing is going to take us in December. But people must just pay their bills, if I have to be honest. Don't allow people to leave. Don't allow 9-to-5s to have a tab. Don't allow scammers to have a tab. Just, everybody must pay.
Not 9-to-5 niggas catching strays.
You as a club must pay the people you are booking, and the people who are coming to spend must pay their bills. Everybody must just do their parts.
Please leave the gainfully employed.
I mean, honestly.
Leave Oaks and at home saying, what did I do now? Just because I don't have 7 side hustles. Now I must catch bullets for no reason.
No, because do you know what my problem is with 9-to-5s, ne? And I think Benny Maverick posted a video about this also sometime earlier on in the year. And he said, you know what, the club life is not for 9-to-5ers. Initially, I was mad at that statement because I was like, how? But a person is rightfully earning their money every month and they want to go and splurge at the club and they want to have a good time. I now understand the sentiment he was trying to explain. And he was basically saying, don't go in bigger than your pockets because the club is a very, it's a bottle wars. Yes. And when you're bottle warring, but you know you've got rent to pay, you've got your car to pay, you've got DSTV to pay, and you only know how much money you get the same fee, same salary every day, every month. So you can't be bottle warring with people in the club if you know you can only spare 1,000 rand.
Let me tell you, and that shit again is addictive now more than ever.
Yeah,
it's always been that in general as human beings, we're always trying to come up. Especially if you don't come from cash, you're just getting a little bit, working. You want to spend, you want to feel that's, you know what I'm saying?
I want to celebrate
just one. You know what I mean? I want to bust a bottle and pour it on somebody's head and be like, yeah, motherfuckers, we in this bitch. And then go and be like, I shouldn't have done that. I'm in a debilitating situation right now. And so it's human nature. We all spend on things that were a little bit outside of our reach. You buy the car that's a little bit there, that house that's a little bit, and you're like, maybe, as life goes, maybe I'll catch up to myself. Yeah. So it's human nature to always try and spend money that you don't have. So we know that bullshit. But let me tell you something about that club thing. It's just not worth it. If there's a place where spending money ridiculously is not worth it, it's the club.
Dangerous.
You know why also? Because that alcohol is gone when you wake up in the morning. Now you're just left with a hangover and the regrets.
It's better for you to pre-drink at home. Must come 90% drunk. Blizzard. By the time you get to the club, we don't give a fuck anymore. One drink is going to tip you over. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come to enjoy, it's the
best way to save money.
Yeah, come early at the party, razzled. Just people see you, they're like, you see Zemo? Nigga, it's motherfucking 2 in the afternoon. That nigga is rumbling the drink. Be like, yeah, because at home, I bought myself 2 bottles, 300 rand. Now here, watch me drink 1 drink the whole day. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it's 9-to-5, I would say, definitely don't get yourself in that trap. Again, you realize that you're spending money with scammers in the club now. Yeah. So you're even competing with the wrong people. Yeah. You're competing. You see these people are coming up with a bill, say the old club 200,000 rand. Think about it, my man. That's your salary per year.
Exactly. Please, we're not on the same playing field on this one. Everybody just pay. Just drink within your means, okay? Let's rather keep it at that.
Keep it simple.
Keeping it a very simple. All right, so somebody who is keeping it simple but also taking things all the way to the top, aka had an event this past week celebrating Lemons to Lemonade, going platinum status. Shout outs to the Super Mega on that one. And he's also doing a little bit of a tour with Cruz, basically like it's the last year of their relationship. I'm still trying to understand what the event's about. I don't know, you went to the last one.
Yeah, so basically, because he's had 2 of these events maybe in the last month and a half. The first one was themed around bottle and it was all yellow. We didn't go to that one. But this past week, he had another one, which I think is one of the last ones now. And on this one, there was 2 things. One, it was celebrating his relationship with Cruz Vodka. And like it's saying, the relationship is coming to an end. So he's doing it something different. I guess you don't see people kind of celebrate the end of something.
Yeah.
It usually kind of just fizzles out and then just like, we went our separate ways.
Yeah.
But he's chosen to do something a little bit different. I don't know what his future plans are around Cruz Vodka or maybe going into alcohol industry himself, perhaps. Yeah. They kind of left that conversation open. Oguti, watch the space, anything could happen. But I guess it was cool to see him just give dabs and speak on the success that they had with Cruz, which is quite a lot of success according to what they told us. They've sold 1.3 million bottles around it, hundreds of millions in sales. So it was a very lucrative deal, first and foremost. Secondly, they were celebrating the success of his now, I don't know how many platinum, if it's gone multi-platinum or double platinum, single with Aries, which is, not Aries, sorry, with Nasty Lemons. So there was that, giving out plaques to people that he's been working with. I think even just past that thing as well, because he was giving plaques to the producers, guys that he's have been around with him for quite some time, his team members, even people like his like personal assistant and stuff like that. Just acknowledging everybody. So he had all his close friends were there. From the Benzes, these business partners, your JRs were there, so El Tito's out there, all the guys that he DJs with, Abu Benjamin, aka Zadok, was out there. I actually had a conversation with him. Now, usually I don't backtrack on things that I say here, right? Because I mean it. I mean everything that I say, regardless of how it sounds, or whether you think it's the shittiest thing or the best thing, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to rile up people by saying whatever I'm saying. I give my opinion and I stand by it. But when Lemons first dropped, right?
Yeah.
I can say that I was harsher than usual.
Yes.
And it was off the first listen. Sometimes I say like, you know what? I was like, nah, I was dismissive of the track. And off the bat of a lot of other disappointing tracks from AKA at the time, I took it and it came in and out of my system. Sometimes you consume music like that.
Yeah.
We are quick to judge sometimes, and the song can grow on you. Yeah. So I can very happily say that a song that I didn't like initially, and I like a lot. And I like the whole song, not just certain parts of it. I think I only gave Nasty C dabs the first time, and I was like, the rest of the song is out of here. So I can just say that. Because sometimes you guys want to say, so you say you really don't like that song, bro? You know what I mean? And I was speaking to Benjamin, and I was like, you know what? Face to face, I can tell you right now, but at the time, that's how I felt. Yes. But I do like the song much better now. Usually I don't, I'm happy to do this right here. Because he challenged me, he's saying, well, if you said it on the camera, then say it on the camera again. Yeah. So I'm saying it on the camera again. And let's just squash that thing. You know what I'm saying? But all the other tracks that I said I didn't like, I still don't like them. I'm not talking about AKA particularly, just in general. And all the tracks that I like. Also, I don't think we should hang on reviews too much. Yes. You know what I mean? I feel like, yes, you can say Miss Cosmo, stop talking about it. It's like, it's out there. It doesn't really matter. You can like me liking a track. Yes, you can say there's some influence in certain small parts where people, but at the end of the day, we all use our own ears to listen to music. 100%. And we're here to push and talk about situations. And even if you don't like what you're hearing, I say this because I don't want to ever be accused of saying something for sensational reasons. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I'll give my opinion and you can 100% disagree. Yes. Because I disagree with a lot of shit and I say it with my chest. So when you disagree anyway, that's also fine. Yeah. But don't think that I'm bashing because that's not.
No, okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair criticism.
I also think it's important for people to also understand that sometimes you also allowed to not like a song. Yeah. Other people can think it's the smash of the year and you can just be like, okay, sharp, it's just not my cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? And that's also okay. But definitely a really hot song. I actually remember that review. Yeah. And I was the one who was like, I'm happy like he's back. I was even like, Nasty C is getting the best out of the guys in the game, you were still just like,
nah, it was delicious. Your song, it's nice. It's for the summertime. I'm rapping it. But I want to say this with any artist that whichever person's song I've disliked, I can still say I still have your songs on my phone though. I just don't have that one that I disliked.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's an artist who can say I hate in totality, who I have no thing to. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, sometimes I'll be like, for the most part, I don't feel as artist, but there's some songs of these that I feel.
Yes.
But with someone like an AKA, I'm like, you have an amazing catalog, and we've spoken about that time and time again. So I feel like sometimes people focus on just the one thing. Why didn't you like this one? But let's have a conversation about your track that I like all the time. If that's what we're doing right here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Spontaneous, how are you feeling about the tune though? It's taking you to the top now.
I don't like at first, like he said, I also had the same thoughts when it first dropped. I was like, tricky, this one.
Yeah.
But then I agree. It's actually a song that actually does grow on you, and it's actually a song that's gonna be here for a long time.
Yeah.
It's really gonna sit. It's really gonna chill. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Like the more you listen to it, the more elements you get out of it, and you're just like, actually, this song is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Man. So shout out to AK and Nasty for that one, and shout out to everyone who worked on the masterpiece. It's a very beautiful jam, and yeah, it's very dope. And I like what he's doing, like by the fact that he's actually acknowledging every person who was actually involved, because that's very rare to see artists actually acknowledging even the little people you didn't even know about who were involved into making of the song. So a shout out to that for him actually giving them the plaques. That's pretty dope. I found that pretty dope.
Yeah, it's different. I think it's re-energized to make it. And it always happens. You know, when you're facing criticism sometimes, and you know, when you're used to getting a high praise, and then you go through a period where people are like telling you, because he said it himself, it's like they said it was over for me. They said I'll never be here again. They said I must forget about it. They said I'll never have another hit. So, and his energy towards that was like, well, here I am. And you know, I'm like, yeah, cool. Yeah. That's great. You must have that. Now you could feel which the energy was different. Yeah. So to get back on top, you can see he's re-energized. He seems happier. He seems more positive. And that can only be great for music, because now he's like, I don't want to keep the same energy. So I want people to like, my next single, people will be like, he's dipping again. So you know he's going to work 10 times harder to give you that same energy. So for the music, it elevates anybody. Even in STC, you can see he seems to have new energy as well with this track. He can breathe new life. He was busy on tour. So now you can imagine with the music-wise, he's like, let's go a little bit higher. Sete came through, took hip-hop a little bit higher for this year. And now the bar, if it's raising, then for the game, it can only be a good thing.
100%. And I like that he was able to at least own that, because you know, sometimes, and I'm not necessarily saying that every artist needs to go through this, but sometimes you can get comfortable at the top. And I think that's where things start getting a bit shaky, because then it's like, okay, now you start taking risks and you're just like, doesn't matter. They're going to take it anyway. So it's a good thing. I appreciate the fact that he can sit back and admit good to people who are just like, we're not too sure if it's going to make it back, whatever. I think he also sat back and started thinking and said, I need to make sure that I go back with the right energy. And that's what he probably did with the song. And, you know, life has its ups and downs, and I'm glad he had the downs so that he could then pick himself up again. So shout out, the song is amazing, and that's why it's doing so well.
And he was in a very dark space, like for a while.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Not just from personal stuff happening and the music. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's take its toll on anybody.
Yeah, but I appreciate that he learned lessons through that. Yeah. Because that's how you then get better. That's how you get back on top. Instead of sitting and maybe either wallowing or just not even caring or not taking any feedback, take the feedback. It's not necessarily that people are saying that it's completely over. They're rather saying, we know you can do better. We implore for you to do better because we are your fans. And as a fan, I'm going to say things are tricky because I know you've got more in you that you can give us. You know what I mean? So work on it. And that's exactly what he did.
And I'm big on people proving their point at the thing that you're known to do. You know what I mean? Don't talk too much. You know what I'm saying? If you play basketball, shut up and dribble. When these niggas are telling you shit, just hit buckets. Dunk on these niggas. And they'll keep quiet. You know what I'm saying? Don't get off, let's discuss things. Don't get into debates. No. You make music, so be the best at that shit. And when people criticize you about other things, especially the thing that you do, just, it's like time for you to step back and like, let me go get my music right. You know what I'm saying? If somebody starts criticizing your DJ, at some point you're going to be like, let me go back home and this is the shit that I do. Nobody can come there and be like, let me do it for you or let me make you better. Only you can have that sense of pride in the work that you do and say, you know what? At some point, I'm going to prove my point and I'm going to do it in the ring because I'm a fighter.
100%.
Everything else is just chatter, my boy.
100%. Sticking to Nasty C, He has made South African history by being the first South African act to perform at the MTV EMAs. So he was out there this past weekend. Shout outs to Nasty C for taking it to the top. If there's one person who's always saying, don't worry guys, I'll be back. Let me show you. It's Nasty C. Yo, I know. I love the way that his team moves. I love the way the decisions that they're making for him, the decisions he makes for himself as well, kind of taking his career to the next step. So, it's always been artists who are going to attend and just red carpets and, kind of taking pictures, outfits, and then just watching a show and then coming back. It's nice to see that artists are now getting involved in the show. Yeah. And I appreciate that for Nasty C.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I think Nasty is this guy who puts himself out there, who's always trying to soak up energy around the world, not just like locally. So you see him traveling, even if he's not doing big tours or whatever, you see him spend some time in America, hitting the streets, talking to people, meeting wherever his label can help him connect with dudes. You see him getting there. Yeah. That's how you find themselves in these parts. Japan, shooting that Netflix
documentary. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's dope. And this comes from putting yourself out there and just working. And so it's dope to see him out there waving the flag. Has any South African ever performed on that stage before?
No, this is the first time.
This is the first time, right? Yeah. And I know we had nominations of MTV EMAs and even some wins, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's good to see Nasty C out there waving the flag, man. Like I said, you can see he himself has this new energy about him, and I hope it carries into all aspects, because once he gets busy, he gets busy.
I won't lie, I'm also just very appreciative of the fact that for the first South African act to perform at the EMAs was a hip hop artist. Shout outs, okay? Because Piano's been stepping on our asses this year, so I'm just glad that
we're still here. We're still here. No, shout out to Nasty, man. Like, I mean, at some point I was like, this boy's gone. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
I think if I was in issues, I don't think I was gonna come back. I was gonna stay that. No, but shout out to him for always ripping our country and always taking us to the next level, showing the world that we do have the capability to stand with everyone on these stages and outshine, if not do great things with them. So it's quite brilliant to see a young kid like Nasty on such a huge stage and representing SA. And representing our hip-hop culture that side, So it's pretty dope to see.
Yeah, man, it's dope. So hip-hop, one in the bag. But Piano also gets one in the bag by the feature on the Wakanda Forever soundtrack. So big ups to Devon Gogo, Sinom Solo, Kamumpela, Young Stana, as well as Busiswa. Yeah. They're on 2 tracks on the soundtrack. And obviously the movie came out this past week. So man, go out there and support and shout outs. Also, what I really appreciated about the rollout, which I thought was just perfect timing, obviously Wakanda Forever dropped this past week in the movie, but also Chicken Licken, the adverts.
I haven't seen the advert for Chicken Licken.
You guys are brilliant.
I saw people talking about it. I actually haven't had a chance to see it.
Brilliant. When you guys get a moment, please go and check out that. I think the timing for me was just like they knew the movie was coming out this week, so this is the advert, no matter what, is coming out this week. And when you watch it, you're going to be like, whoever was the creative on this thing needs to get a raise. Like,
and I heard it was like
they must just be the owner of the agency at this point. I know.
I heard the production on the ad itself was quite
so clean.
Yeah.
Like you would actually think it was made in Hollywood. Like the production was. I was actually sitting back and thinking about that because I was like, the CGI on this one is just to the top. And I like obviously the nuances and how they made like fun of because basically, okay, to give you a synopsis. They've got the Wakanda people basically coming to South Africa to fetch a Chicken Licken burger. Yeah. But now they arrive here, and then the one comment he mentions is about, he speaks to them in that, that weird accent, that Wakanda accent. Where they're saying something in Xhosa, and then some Xhosa guy then replies back in actual Xhosa. And then he comes back, he goes, I thought they spoke Xhosa here. Like, because the accent is just not connected. That's what I thought that was brilliant.
But that first movie, I'm just like, hey, when you watch the first movie again, sometimes it's just like, I know you said you watched the second one.
It's actually worse in the second. There were moments where we were all just cracking in the cinema, like, wait, what did he say? What kind of cosa is this, bro? Like, it's actually worse in the second one, but But it's a really good movie, though. Very, very dope movie to watch. Very emotional, but like, it's a very good watch. I suggest everyone needs to watch it just to get a general feel of what they actually wanted to do and the tribute to Chadwick. So it was pretty dope. Yeah.
But I heard also that they embellished a little bit more on the tribute to Chadwick, that it didn't really feel like a Marvel movie. It felt more like a tribute to him than anything.
So like, not to ruin the story for those who haven't watched it, but like, it was more of a Chadwick tribute. It wasn't your typical Marvel movie. Like, your fight scenes were not so hectic as your normal Marvel fight scenes, and they were not so CGI-ristic and all of that. Nah, it was really mellow fight scenes, dope fight scenes though, but like very chilled, very short. It was more of a story more than about violence and whatnot. The violence was very minimum, but then there was just more of the story of what's actually happening without Chadwick.
I actually wonder how much of the story they actually changed, because I know before Chadwick passed away, they had already started pre-production.
Oh no, they changed a lot.
Yeah,
they changed a lot.
I guess they didn't have a choice, obviously, because of the circumstances. But I wonder from the original story, how they're then going to I guess maybe they're saving it for the next one, because at this point they kind of had to do this story before then what the actual movie that they were going to put together.
I think that's just a testament to how influential that first movie was, because it was a big moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel is very the writers and the executive producers are very brilliant. So even though they did change the story quite a bit, it still works. Like, it still works. The original, I guess, storyline they had to begin with when Chadwick was still here, I think it was still there. But obviously they just had to sum up some changes, obviously, to make it align. But I think they did a good job. It's still gonna work.
Shout out,
watch out this week as well. You guys should too. And of course, check out that soundtrack, because Mzansi is representing out there. Shout out Dibin Gogo and the rest of the guys.
Yeah, man. Everybody else was on the song. So, everybody's winning. South Art taking it all the way to the top. Another conversation that kind of came through this past week was Black Motion having a switch up on the members. So there was this big conversation about, are they together? Are they not together? Did they split? Did they not split? Who's keeping the Black Motion name? Is there a replacement? I think it's more about longevity now of the band name than it is about who the members are. And so just to kind of give a background, Murder and Thabo Small are no longer working together. Murder recently released his solo project called Asante.
Yeah.
Where he is 100% an Afro-tech producer and DJ now. So he's touring on his own. And Small has kind of kept the Black Motion name and now then taken on Problem Child as the DJ. So Problem Child is also an Afro-tech DJ who comes in now, and they've got this new story. So now my question comes in with these things split, do you decide now to completely dissolve the name and everybody goes their own way and you create a new brand? Or do you continue? Because it does not mess with people who don't really know the backstory. Do you know what I mean?
It's very tricky. But I mean, from my experience with watching a lot of conglomerates from back then, like Uhuru was a thing and all these others, they always seem to dissolve the name. So for now to say that Usmal is going to continue Problem Child and call it Black Motion, I don't know what the dynamics of their breakup was and how that's going to work. But for us who know Black Motion as Black Motion, how do we now feel like with the new Black Motion, and will it be the same, and what happens from there? So it becomes very tricky. I'm used to names being dissolved. Once you go left, I go right. So we leave the name in the middle.
So you think rather you should have just come up with a different name?
I think so. Yeah. That's what I believe. I believe because I mean, it's like, let's say me and Sipo, we start something. If me and Sipo say we're splitting, we leave it in the middle, and
I guess
that's that.
Yeah, you do build, of course, following and fanship based on the characters themselves. You know what I'm saying? So people come there, like you said, if we're a duo, then people are like, yeah, these guys roll this way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you switch it up, the sound's still the same. Or what's the texture now of the new group? Because many people, you could lose some fans. Maybe you make new fans. Who knows? But it could be like a Destiny's Child situation. You know, sometimes you start off with certain people, and then later on, you mix it up, and then you're still able to keep the energy of the group alive. Depending on how you work that branding, it's tricky. not impossible. I guess at the end of the day, maybe just the music will speak for itself. Because if it knocks, I mean, it'll be like, wow, the music knocks. I don't care what name you put on it.
That's true.
And because they were known for that energy when they were performing live as well. If it's still the same or they figured out something new. Because when you hear Black Motion is going to perform, you know exactly what you're going to expect.
Yeah.
So if that part changes, then that's where it might get really tricky.
Yeah, you see, but so that energy is also built on your synchronization with your partner.
Yeah.
So are they going to be in the same? Because I mean, watching Problem Child play from like a young age, he's always been that guy who just focuses on playing.
I was about to ask. I was about to say that. Are we expecting him to also dance now?
Yeah,
are we expecting him to jump on stage now? Because that was Mert's thing. You know what I mean?
So now what's going to happen?
I'm saying that's the part now where
he's going to leave
tricky.
The dicks and then they'll do the synchronized dancing now.
It is very tricky because for them, that's the part where it was part of the what they were known for. The core part of the group was their performance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how they're going to handle that, I guess, will be the final piece of this thing actually coming together. Or in Washington will be like, this is not Black Motion anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, whether the music is good or not, they'll be like, let's just call it something different because I'm expecting someone to do some things and it's not the same vibe anymore. So especially because, they have to keep telling people that they have a new member.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to keep, so everywhere you go, people that haven't caught up with there's a new member are like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then it distracts from the music now because people are like, yeah, but before you played, what's going on here?
Now people want to know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's chats instead of acts.
I don't know. I guess for now, all it is speculation. We just have to sit back and watch and see.
Yeah.
But you're right. If the music bangs, then that's, I guess, is what matters. You can name it whatever you want. As long as you're true to the music. That's what the fans want.
That's what
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to jump straight into our favorite part of the show. Yes, I am talking about the most unpopular questions. And we're going to get our head to come through.
So you're going to pick a question out of there. We haven't seen it either. Only our producers have.
Okay.
And then you can read it out and then we'll just discuss whatever that thing is.
Two questions.
Yeah.
Do we need artists to start brands outside of alcohol and fashion?
Yes.
Interesting.
I do. I really think so. And I say this because it also feels like artists become stereotyped into saying, you guys are just here for a nice time. Alcohol, that's where you're going to sit. And then all of the campaigns that you get is just push the whole time. No. What about my morning routine? Maybe I want to talk about how I manage my hair or how I manage my skin. Or maybe I want to talk about, I don't know, my favorite clothes, or maybe like where I travel, or how I maintain my nails, or things like that. There needs to be other ways or other brands that we can kind of speak to, because if it's lifestyle relationships, then lifestyle has many aspects and elements to it. It can't always just be about bottle popping.
No, that's very true. That's very true. Like, I think I don't know, is it like what we see on TV that has said, if you're an artist, this is what you see, this is what you get.
Yeah.
And then that's why it's become like a norm to say, brands that associate with artists, this is alcohol businesses. But I do get what you're saying, that there are other aspects in the lifestyle industry that we can actually associate ourselves with outside of alcohol. So I do agree that we do as artists need to find other avenues to push ourselves with brands and brand alignment.
I think it's people make money where they're comfortable or where they think matches their brand the most sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, especially with entertainers, that's wherever you fall in the spectrum of entertainment, it's always the most fashion is a big thing, of course. Partying is a big thing. Fashion, how people look is a big thing. So it's always easy to gravitate towards those things. But I feel like sometimes it gets put on artists sometimes. Why not have your own liquor? Because people see you as why not have your own fashion? Because let's just put Miss Cosmo's name on a sweater and say, buy Miss Cosmo merch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or here's my line with A, B, and C. I feel like it's definitely things that a lot of artists do. And I feel like people are definitely capable of doing a lot more than that. And sometimes you want to, but you don't know how because it seems so far out of what you're doing. You know, maybe there's some rappers who are like, you know what? Like, for example, Momulimi. I don't know who Momulimi is. This is a Motswakwa rapper from Mufftown, from the age of double HP and whatnot. So Momulimi, as his name suggests, which is like farmer, is a farmer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a very kind of left field thing for him to do. But he came in rapping about the fact that he's a farmer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm done from the studio, I'm gonna check on my chickens. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe.
Yeah.
At a time where everyone was just like, this guy really does these things. Yeah, I mean, overall, I sell potatoes. But it seems like the most uncool shit to do as a hip hop artist. But he's like, this is who I am. This is who I was born to do this. So rapping is the thing that I do almost like for sport. But I'm actually a farmer.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like, what else are people out there that are in entertainment capable of doing or passionate about, but don't do that thing because it's so far out of what they're known for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's guys who, I mean, could be anything. Maybe it could be maybe you're very good at, who knows, breeding pets or something. It's like, I love dogs, so I breed dogs as well. Yeah. People are like, what? Why don't you just like start a fashion label or some shit like that? So you can only imagine, I'm be like, you must search deeper within yourself to do the thing that you're really passionate about. And not just gravitate to things because people put them on you. So if you really do want to do fashion, no problem. Go ahead and do that thing because you love fashion, right? You can be like, maybe I was even a fashion designer before I got in entertainment. So I actually want to go back and explore that passion of mine. If that's you, then that's you. But don't just do things just for the sake of doing them. Because I think then it shows in the work that you're putting in. I don't think this is your thing. Come through and tell people, hey man, actually, you know what? I like woodwork.
Yeah.
I like woodwork. You know, I make chairs, I make tables. When I'm not in front of the camera, that's what I like doing, man. I like working with my hands and I do steel work or I'm a painter. You know what I'm saying? Like do the shit that you're actually passionate about and try to make that something that you can make money from. Don't just do things that are in front of you because they're in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, the one person who I think a lot of people can see that works if you are passionate about something and take it to the next level. Someone like Jay Something, where we were introduced to him as an artist and as a singer. But it was like, in my spare time, I like to cook. Opened a restaurant, did a TV show. You know what I mean? Because organically it works because it's who he is. So I implore artists to also just kind of dig deep a little bit and do a little bit more. Because kunini is push out utshwala wabanye abantu. No.
And it's not easy, this alcohol thing. Trust and believe that it may look outside that you can just put your name on something and push, but being an alcohol trade is a lot of work. And if you're not also gonna explore exactly how that business works, then you just put your name on something, you might find yourself wanting. It takes a lot to put out and make something successful for it to sell. So once you get into it, it can make you a lot of money if you do it right. But if you don't have the passion for it, you're just gonna find yourself being controlled. If people put your name on it, that means that you're being pushed left and right. They're gonna tell you, now do this,
red tape.
don't do this. And then deep down inside you're like, I don't want to do this shit, man. And it's gonna start showing because people are like, well, why are you being like half-assing something with your name on it? Because you actually don't want to do it.
Yeah, and you can see when someone's just doing it for the bag, because then there's no longevity in that thing. And then you sit there and you're just like, you never really wanted to do this. You just looked at the zeros at the end of the conversation. You're like, all right, let's go. So I also want people to kind of do stuff that actually works for them so that it can actually have the influence that you're getting paid for. Do you know what I mean? Not just posting for the sake of posting. Anyway, getting into some new music that came through this past week. We have a lot of new drops. Hip hop, thank you so much for giving us so much music this past week. But before we get to the hip hop tunes, let's also just kick it off with some of, we've got something in Afro Tech, we've got a piano song, and we've got a couple of hip hop tunes as well. So Zex Bantwini and Musa have a new song, and the song is called Asanda. So they've got an EP that's going to be dropping, Ubomi. I think it's coming out in the next 2 weeks, so if I'm not mistaken. But this is the new tune that they're pushing for the summer. How do you feel about it, gentlemen? Spontaneous?
I mean, Zex has always been giving us some pretty amazing Afro beats. I mean, Afro tech jams lately. I mean, so for me, when I first heard it, I was like, okay. I can see the blueprint and where it comes from. And I guess it's the formula that's working for him currently. And I see a lot of DJs have been pushing it on the social medias. And everyone who retweets anything from Kunye, someone's playing it. So clearly the song is doing well and it's pretty hot. So I think it might do well for him in the summer. It's going to be a December song.
Yeah, I'll say don't be an impatient listener. When you press play, you might think you've pressed play on Osama. That's what I thought first. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know house jams or Afro-tech jams in general, dance songs, are usually very long. You know what I'm saying? So let the song build, and give it a chance properly, because at first it may sound a little immediately familiar and you think, but then if you listen to the whole track, I mean, I bumped the entire jam and I actually like it. And you're right, sometimes you hit like Zex was quiet for a while and he came back with Osama. past year and a half, he's been doing very well. So once you're in your pocket, you kind of want to stay there and you want to explore that to the bone, right? So if you're building on a sound and people that you're working with, then you kind of want to stick with that because it's working for you. Yeah. You don't want to come back now that you're trying too many different things, or you release one track that's this way and then suddenly you've gone completely right field. People are like, hey, we don't know where you're landing.
We don't know where you're going now.
Yeah. So I can understand the comfort zone or the pocket where he's comfortable releasing a jam right now. But I dig the jam. I think it'll probably do well in the summer.
Yeah, 100%.
When we get summer, eventually.
Yeah, because also this rain. Wow.
Where the fuck is the summer, bro?
we were basically in a monsoon this past week.
I've been listening to R&B for 2 weeks. I can't tell you, man. No. I want to be outside.
We're gonna start calling our exes for love pack. Please, the sun needs to come out. We don't need to be making
people are gonna find themselves in accidental relationships for December. November.
Now is not the time.
People who are single or people who are just enjoying their time. Now exactly what Ms. Cosmo just said. You're gonna start calling in like, you're going back. It's December right now. Shake that thing off. If you don't go looking for love bags at this time.
No, we don't want love bags. We just want more songs. We want more music. Okay. 6.20 with Asanda. Yes, definitely sitting in the right pockets. But I like how he's building up. I think he's also, like you're saying, he's creating a lane for himself and creating a signature sound so that people already know Zex is on that song. That's how you understand the direction he's taking. So I like this new energy that's coming from him as well. I like how he's also kind of then said, I can take a little bit of a hiatus or maybe kind of be busy with other things, but I'm still Zex Bantwini. So don't get it twisted. I'm going to give you these hits. And that's exactly what he's done with this tune. So Asanda is going to be the champ for December. Somebody who also decided to give us one song and then disappear. And then now she's back. Tyler with a new track. It's called To Last. Back on a piano tip as well. How are you taking the song?
I'm actually undecided about the song, if I'm being honest. It does sound like the first one, like a lot. And like we were talking about artists working in a pocket where they're comfortable. But I mean, you do have to kind of give us something that's going to be like, okay, we see where you're going. So I don't know. I think I still need to give it some more time. Let it grow on me a bit more. But yeah, that one, I'm going to have to just give it some more time.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. I feel like I want to let it bang and get to, based on what I said earlier, let him sit a little bit. I'm being strict with myself now. And I must hear all the instruments that the way, and then come back and say, that 808 wasn't knocking the way I wanted. But I mean, the track sounds very familiar in terms of like from her previous jam. But after a few listens, I think maybe we'll see if it grows on me or if it fades away very quickly. I'm not too sure about it as it stands.
I'm okay with the song. I just wanted it to have a little bit more energy. If I have to be honest, for a piano song, sometimes you want to get to that point where the beat is knocking you, the vocals are aligning at a point where you're just saying, okay, cool, I can hear this jam, we're taking it to the top. That's just generally what the vibe is when it comes to piano. Yes, you're going to have some soulful songs, but even those soulful songs have a peak that you reach and you're just like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And I was waiting for that peak and it didn't come. So I'm hoping that she can also kind of give us a little bit more of a banger with the next couple of tunes. I still have patience with regards to her music because I did like the very first song. I like that one. This one I'm on the fence about, but I'm also just like, just give us a little bit more of a bang on the song. Maybe, I don't know whether you need to add an extra log drum or maybe you need to, create a climax somewhere else in the song. For me, that's why I'm a little bit on the fence. It's not horrible.
No,
I just wanted more from it.
I'll say, I think the dance producers, dance artists have a lot of room to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like how, I mean, you could release the worst song and people could just like brush it off. But dance fans generally are just like, just give me the jam.
Just give me the jam,
Just give me the jam. They can just take this one. Okay, not this one. Give me another one. They don't sit there too much. Like, for example, like hip hop, when you release a wax song, people can still remind you every day, what the fuck was that song about? I've got a new song about that. Why did you release that other one? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like hip hop is very strict in terms of that people remind you about that wax shit that you did. Versus dance people, like, we're just not going to bump that thing. Keep giving me another one. I'm sure you at some point you're gonna give me something. So I don't think you have to rest too much on some, I don't have one right now. Dance music, I think, is very accepting community. And I think you go back and you say, oh, this one wasn't knocking this way. I know I'm gonna hit them with, you know what I'm saying? Very, very simple. I think it's just a matter of just reworking at it. Sort of bagging the hip hop.
Tricky. we're getting so many returns to the music game. Anati is back.
Hey, welcome back.
With another tune.
Yo.
Track is called Amadlozi. Firstly, thank you for putting ears back on DSPs. I don't know what was happening. We was trying to remove it and NFTing us. My brother, we don't understand the thing. We don't have data. We just don't have the personal capacity to even try and figure it out. I'm just glad you said, okay, let's bring this one back, and then gave us a new jam. Amadlozi is out. How you feeling, spontaneous?
Beautiful, beautiful jam. I heard it when it dropped on Friday, and I was like, if I had enough time to playlist this one, I was going to playlist it the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful jam. Thank you for Natty for coming back with Waiting. So, like, I mean, he's one of the best that we have in the country, and especially on the production level, he's been giving us quality sounds, and this one is just a very beautiful jam. Love it. So cool.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Anati can't, like I said, we've been crying for him to come back quite some time. He's been teasing us with a few things. Like you said, I'm an NFT. People said NF what?
NFT
NF what? You must what? I must buy it, and then I own it, and we share it. What? Where is the music? Yeah, I'm saying people are like, yeah, Bitcoin. Hey, my brother, we're just trying to dance. Let's do two things. NFT guys, one side.
Yeah.
Music, one side. You know what I mean? People don't have time. You're trying to talk to us about these things. They want to just like, we're gonna let you finish, and when you're done, maybe you can just hit us.
Just give us the song.
Give us the song. Put that album back, please. We don't know what you're talking about very much. You can have the conversation. It can happen at the same time.
Yes.
You can speak about NFT, and then at the same time give us
this one.
So us we're here and we're enjoying over here with the music. Maybe we'll catch up with the NFT as Sazi.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm very happy that he's back. And I'm guessing again he felt the love, the overwhelming pouring. People just like, yo. First of all, put the albums back, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know who's bumping that shit. You can see the screens. Exactly. So he put the album back and he bought a new single, and I think he's got visuals for it. I saw, I haven't seen the video properly, but I saw on his thing, there's a clip of visuals. So I'm guessing either the whole YouTube maybe video is out or it's coming out. So he's back, he's working, everybody's happy.
Everybody is happy. Amadlozi is out. And I like how he's also kind of created like a summer song. Like he's saying, okay, this one is for me to be jumping on stages in December. Yeah. So digging the vibe, love the fact that he's back. I've been praying and begging. I've said it so many times here on POPcast, please, can somebody find Anati? I'm glad he's finally been found. You know what I mean? So yeah, the music is dope. Quite excited to actually hear what else he's going to give us. Yeah. Because, you know, he kind of started on this tip even with Ieza when he did Tickle No Fefe. And everyone was just like, okay, we see you, but what's the energy? What's the vibe? Which direction are you taking? If you can do the same thing and give us another one. Oh, I'll be the happiest person in Mza, I'm telling you right now. So, Anati, dope tune, featuring Luka Taps on that tune, man. And I'm waiting to see the visuals. You know, I want to see how he's actually going to then say, this is the music video. Because, you know, Anati is also... over the top. You remember the jump music video where you even had to have a disclaimer, hey, if you're epileptic, don't watch this one. Tricky one, this one. So I want to see how he's going to take it to the top of the music video for that.
I love it because, I mean, he's always a guy who gives us something different.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We need people to be doing different stuff. Yeah. Sticking to their part, not trying to adopt the sound just because it's a popular sound, whatever. He came through sounding like himself. Yeah. He did not try and sound like he's trying to jump on anyone's thing. Yeah. And that's what I see. The more guys, that all the talent that we have, the more that people just push what they do. Yeah. It encourages everybody else to be comfortable and do their own shit. Yeah. This thing of jumping around and trying to stick on popular sounds, it's right now thing. There's the reason why we're asking this guy to put music that was out years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put that timeless shit out, it's not about, oh, this thing is outdated or whatever. No. It stays relevant, my bro.
Yes, 100%. All right, so more music coming through from the hip-hop streets. Also giving us some nostalgia, but giving us a new feel, a new look, a new vibe. No Comply has their first single out as No Comply. And the track was called Tetanami, featuring Major Steez. Yo.
What a jam.
Firstly, how long did it take them to clear the sample?
First of all, the coins is the question.
How much did you guys pay
for that sample?
To clear the thing?
I wonder. I would love to know the actual split
of that jam.
Yeah. So they didn't just sample any jam. As soon as you hear it, you're like, yeah.
They sampled the biggest jam of the century. Okay. the one song that has stood the test of time. Like, I was listening to the song when I was a little small nyana. When the first
I was just small like a DJ.
When it came out, I was a small nyana, Miss Cosmo. Now I'm a big Cosmo, okay? And at that point, it was a hit. And it's one of those songs that you can play everywhere. You play it at a wedding. You play it at a club. You play it at a restaurant. You play it at any point. Tevin Campbell is the most timeless song of the century.
Of the century, yeah.
Now, if you're going to sample that song.
And people still ask me to play till this day. I'm there at Groove. Please play, can we talk? Now I gotta find it.
Now you're making me work now.
Yeah, now you're making me work now.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they got that sample cleared, and I'm just like, guys, hey.
Yo, I know, but big ups.
Yeah, big ups to them.
Yeah,
man.
so they sampled a timeless song, but obviously they've given it like a new school feel. Major Steez, Must Be Dubs on the tune. Yeah, man. Tetanami.
Oh, man.
I'm loving it, man. Shout out No Comply. For those who don't know who No Comply is, it is DJ Speedster and DJ
Milkshake, yeah.
As a duo, they pushing that, bringing some new energy around. I love it. I think it's going to bump in the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can also tell you kind of the sound that they're playing with, maybe what else they might give us in terms of singles. Speedster always puts out hits. You know what I'm saying? If he's working on some jams, it's probably going to knock. So yeah, man, I'm very excited to see where they take their relationship. Clearly taking it seriously. When I first started hearing about it, I thought, just being, just friends being silly on stage, jumping on together. Yeah. Because Vele, if that entire crew from Bo Dimples and Bo VG and Bo Milkshake, Vele, when they all come together, you can see 4 people on the decks just having a good time together. So the energy has always been like that. So for them to formalize it and say, you know what, let's actually go on this new journey together and see what it brings. I feel like clearly it's already bearing fruit. In terms of that sample, sometimes you don't clear the sample.
and then you get into trouble.
You get into trouble. Or you take the fact that you make no money on the actual streams of the song. Because you can imagine, I don't think Kevin Campbell owns that song. There's like Babyface or some shit like that. So from that track, I would say, even if they said, hey, we couldn't clear the sample, first of all, or the splits are so ridiculous, like 90-10, where they're like, but maybe it'd be worth it because actually we'll have something bigger planned.
Planned for it,
something like that. So like Double HP, every single Double HP sample you've ever heard, Double HP owned 0 of it. Like Music and Light, 100% goes to the thing. You know what I mean? And there's another sample. Double HP samples a lot, but like it's 3 really big samples. Every single one of them.
Yeah, I think Jabba was also 100%. A big one. Yeah.
But what did Music and Lights do for him in terms of like the album and his tours at the time? It was big. It's still one of his biggest tracks, right? Yeah. So he may not be getting streams from that particular song, but for the greater scheme of things, he was like, you know what? It was probably worth it because it allowed him to have, in that year, was probably the biggest hit of the summer or some shit like that. Yeah. So sometimes you take an L, but is it really an L? Because maybe what it brings with it is
the bigger picture.
Yeah, I'm saying they're looking at the summer, it's bookings, it's
like I said, that sample was heavy, but well done to them. Shout out to Must Be Dubs because the production on that track is pretty beautiful, man, and the artist as well. Dope jam, definitely for the summer. Something you're gonna be hearing in the clubs, in the streets, and wherever you're going this December, you're gonna hear that jam definitely being played. Yeah,
man. Tetanami, Loki's also on the tune. I didn't mention him earlier, but one thing I knew, the moment I heard the song, I said, this is Speedster's thing. This is Speedster's idea. If you've ever been to the club at 4 a.m, and Speedster is saying, I'm playing the 4 a.m. set, but I'm not going to play what you want me to play. I'm playing slow jams. Speedster's actually the guy who started the trend. When you'd go to like Taboo or whatever,
at 4 or 5.
4 or 5 in the morning, and then everybody's crying. Oh my God, let it burn. People are singing and they're crying their hearts out.
Sunrise set.
The sunrise set.
Speedster's the one who did that because he's an R&B thug. Like he's that guy. And if you look at his catalog, he's also released a lot of like R&B songs. If you look at like Vicky, you look at Onida, like everything is always just about like he's a softy chef. But I like how he re-energized and also obviously with Milkshake, how they both re-energized the song to make it work for their new branding and the way that they've now put together as No Comply, because they've taken elements from the both of them
and put it into
one, and that's exactly what they did for this. And I like that because it definitely speaks to who they are. And I think they're having so much fun on it. You can see even Major Steez are having the time of their lives. Loki's having the time of his life. I'm just keen to kind of see where they're going to take the song. So big ups to the guys, man. I'm enjoying it. I think also our grannies are also going to enjoy it because they're going to say, which one is this one?
It's going to bring the families together in December.
Indeed.
I can definitely tell that they're having fun. Sometimes you just listen to the track, you're like, I can tell people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
When they're making things, they're not overthinking things. They're like, we're going to stick to the energy that we have in the studio. We must show up on the track. So it doesn't sound like we patched something together or whatever.
It really does sound like they were just having a lot of fun and it just came together flawlessly. There was not that thing of overthinking or anything. It just played itself out nicely. You know?
Nice one, gentlemen. People were also having fun in the studio and it came together to give us something that I didn't think we expected and we didn't know whether we wanted to have it, but it's really dope to listen to. Anele Zondo and Nadia Nakai have a new track and it's called Thick Slim. The ladies are doing a thing for themselves, doing a track for the club. And I'm happy because I constantly say, like, why did we stop making songs for girls? Because girls must twerk in the club. And when the girls are on the dance floor and they're twerking, the boys are happy. They buy more bottles. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Why did we stop making music for the girls? Nadia Nakai and Anele Zondo said, don't worry, I'm going to sort you out. Here's the tune.
I'm so happy about the direction they chose. I'm so happy. Before I press play, I was like, man, just be fun. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too serious. Don't be trying to, we're gonna get rapidly or trying to impress anyone. I'm like, I hope they make a track where off the bat when I'm seeing the visuals, you know, I go visiting Tanga is like, surely this must be a fun track.
A fun track.
Press play and it was exactly that. I'm very, very happy that they stayed in their pocket. I'm not sure if this is Anele's first single.
No, it's a second single.
She's dropped, okay, we spoke about one of our other singles. Yeah. But this, I can tell, Uguti, every DJ who's playing, who's gonna try to get the ladies to dance, show love to the ladies, is definitely gonna bump this track. You know what I'm saying? They did the smart thing in terms of like the sound, the production. It's easy to listen to. You can hear the fun energy in it. You can already see the TikToks. You can see the Instagram posts. And I hope the ladies give it that energy. You know what I'm saying? When you hear not Summer Walker, what's that? Kind of who's Quavo's ex.
Sawidi.
You know, that clip of Sawidi where she's like, something dope, something for the summertime. Something to get girls, when they get ready to. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that vibe, if you go into the studio, even as guys, to go make music, and you're like, if the girls aren't dancing and having a good time,
it's not the point.
What's the point?
They go be DMX, you're fucking, deep ass rap, hippity hop, fucking cypher shit. Summer, turn that shit off. You know that tweet? It's Friday. I ain't trying to listen to J. Cole, nigga. That's why you must go in the studio and make it summertime. I ain't trying to get it with your lyrical, spiritual, lyrical.
like I've been saying this for a minute. I've been saying to a lot of people that, we need more music for the ladies.
Please.
Because that's where you win.
Yes.
One of my blueprints when I go play, my first target is the ladies. Because I know once you get the ladies jamming, the party is sorted. You are done. So this jam is perfect for the club, it's perfect for the summer, it's perfect for the ladies, because I know once the ladies hear it, we're going up, taking it to the top. So shout out to Nadia, shout out to Nay the Bay for this one, because I mean they're doing amazing with this beat. The energy is there. Like you said, the girls are gonna be twerking, it's gonna be a party wherever you go when the song is playing. So shout out to them for reaching the right market.
And I also like you know how you were saying, you didn't want them to be too rappy on the song because they must just be fun.
Because the girls get attacked for that sometimes.
Exactly.
And it's like, why?
Exactly. But what I enjoyed is that even though it's not too rappy, but I think they sit in each of their verses in the right way. Like they're saying the right things with the right cadence, with the right words, in the right way, so that you can still respect them for their lyricism in the song, but also still have fun at the same time. And sometimes it's a little bit hard because as a female rapper, sometimes there's this thing of wanting to prove a point where then it becomes too much rapping and no longer fun. So I enjoyed the fact that they were like, we're giving you dope bars, but it's a fun song, so that you also don't get too consumed in the lyrical what. So Nadia's cadence on this one, super clean. Like this pocket that she's in, my sister, you are definitely sitting with Super Mega Michael, because this one, the influence is inside now, okay? I can hear it. So shout outs, man. I love how the song kind of came together. So I'm keen to see what the visuals are also going to look like as well.
I would say that's the only advice I would give ladies locally who are trying to release tracks. I'd be like, the first thing that they're always getting told is they're not as good as rappers as niggas. I'm saying leave that argument alone.
Yes.
First of all, forget it. Don't even worry about who's got I'm like, follow the blueprint of the other ladies around the world. You know what I'm saying? From your Cardi B's to Meg The Stallion. And make music that you enjoy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Make music that you enjoy, that you're literally sitting and be like, I can see me and my girlfriends bumping this shit.
Yes.
Forget about the niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't try to impress the hip hop niggas or the guys who are in the game trying to be like, oh guys, you feel my boss. Forget that bullshit. Because the disrespect stays there regardless. You know what I'm saying? And even when you prove some shit to them, it's to what value? You know what I'm saying? Niggas give you dabs and then what? You know what I'm saying? They still don't bump your shit. They still don't be playing it. You know, so make songs that you yourself will be like, me and my girlfriends are going to bump this shit. And I say that to any guys, when you put ladies on the tracks, make them, that's it. Forget this shit of trying to get rapidity with the ladies. It doesn't serve them at all. Yeah. As long as they make fun, dope music, you will see we'll have a wave in this country of women dominating if they make music for themselves.
Yes, 100%.
So yeah, man, the ladies, you guys did your thing. So Nay the Bay, Nadia and Akai, we're going to be out here popping and locking in the club for the summer, of course. But yeah, man, that brings us to the end of our show for today, POPcast. Thank you so much for joining us. To our guest, DJ Spontaneous. He's going to be at all of the parties this December. If there's one person who doesn't sleep, it's this guy.
Nah, man, shout out to you, man. I remember it's good to see how hard you're working and how it's paying off for you. I know I was like, Spontaneous will play 3 sets one night, but that's the positive energy you must never lose in terms of always going. I know you want to stay in your lane and you play for the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not there trying to mimic. You're not there to look cool in the crowd or to be like, I don't do too much. You avail yourself and it's showing in your growth and in your sound. And we love it for you, man.
Always shout out, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Like I said, I'll always be the people's DJ. I'm here for the people and I'm here for the music. So don't worry. I'm always going to be here. I'm going nowhere.
Yes. Shout outs. What else can we look forward to coming through from you? What are you working on? Where are you going to be for the summer?
For the summer, I'm gonna be everywhere. As I should be.
Yes,
sir.
And I've got a few projects lined up that I'm about to drop. I dropped a featured track about 2 weeks back with 2LA. It's called Waiting. The ladies will love it. It's an Afro Beats jam. Pretty dope for the club. There's another one with 2LA also called Drop. It's also a club banger. Then I've got my own solo projects with some other artists that I've been working with on the side also coming, but still planning the rollout for those ones, but they'll be coming soon.
Nice. Socials, where do people follow?
Socials, it's Spontaneous_DJ on every social media platform.
There you go. There you have it. I hope you can spell spontaneous also.
Please spell it right. Yo, do you know how many times I ask people to change posters because of the names for the spelling? It's like,
English is dribbling the club boys.
Also, one thing is there no autocorrect when you're typing? What's happening?
I know Spontaneous the English
word. There's no funny spelling. It's
not spontaneous with the Y and the Y-U-U-S. No.
Straight from the dictionary.
Sort it out. You'll be fine, guys. Spontaneous_DJ. That's where it's at. You'll find him on socials. And of course, we will be back again. Also, next week, Tuesday, we do have a hot episode on Pop Radio. So make sure that you do check it out.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be slowly wrapping it up for December. And we did mention that we are going to be putting out a lot more Pop Radio episodes just for December, obviously, because we need to be on the streets. We need to be out here. But we did drop the episode for POPcast Goes to Homecoming Africa. Please go and check it out. It is up. And that's where you can check out some interviews with Blackie, Dali Wonga. We also spoke to Fresh by Caddy as well. Primo as well. So go and check it out. It's really fun. It's really out there. We're going to be trying to do a lot more of those in the summer as well, so that we can give you more content next year. But keep it locked, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting. Let us know where you at, what's going on, where you want us to be in December, because then we can come and check you out and POPcast can come to you.